Hi, my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 2 in our Lavender and Lace series. This is my LineDotArrow / Cara Brandon Creations design team project for March of 2023. This kit is a collaboration between LineDotArrow and Cara Brandon Creations, and it's a gorgeous kit. If you want to get the freebies, make sure to go to both Facebook groups and sign up. And then I also believe at their Ko-Fi pages, you will be able to find freebies as well. Every week there's going to be freebies, so be sure to check back. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you real quick? Oh, all the links that you're going to need, plus a discount code for LineDotArrow is going to be below the video, so be sure to check out all that text. And be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channels as well. Okay, I think that's it. We did page 1. We went over how we're going to do the book, and then we made page 1. And I wish we had done more, but that was just how it worked out. Oh, we went through the kit. That's why. We did an introduction to the papers. And on this, I did go back and fix this. I put the embroidery floss on here. And I went ahead and made it to where it opens, where we didn't have it opening before. And then I made writing spaces out of this. It was already printed on the back with this pattern, and then I just put, those were bigger brads, so I had to put a 1.5 inch circle versus a 1 inch circle to cover the prongs or the legs to the brads, and it opens down the same way. And so we've got this writing space, and I still have to make the big card. I've got several cards I need to make, but I want to wait and see what papers we use and then make some of the bigger writing cards, because they're going to take up a whole page. If you pull this too tight, then it's going to make this side stick up, because we didn't do opposites, which we probably should have done. But hey, I think it turned out cool. Alright, so in this video, we're going to do pages 2, 3, and hopefully part of 4. Okay, so let's get going on that. Where am I going to set this? Where? Okay, so now for page 2, it's going to be pretty straightforward. This is our paper. And this is going to be the card. Yes, I set this aside for the card already because it's the other half of this page. And it actually goes this way, I believe. Yeah. And so I like the way they match up. We're just going to put an acetate belly band with lace on it on this page. So we're going to take a piece of acetate. Now this is a little bit darker because it's a little bit heavier. I'm going to have to get some more. I just happened to be gifted this. So we're going to put lace on the belly band. So we don't want it too wide. We want it, let's make it this is the easiest way to do it, I guess. Well, we could measure how wide the lace is. The lace is 1 1/4 inches wide, so let's make the belly band 1 inch wide. This is different lace than the other. It's got ruffle on both sides. Let's take the acetate, cut off a 1 inch wide piece. clip this back to this so I don't lose it with it being acetate. Okay, so we're going to cut this to size. And we're actually going to put it over here, which doesn't matter for the height, but so we're just going to cut a tiny bit off. We're going to be working with acetate on the next page as well. Yeah. And the next one as well. So you're going to get used to using it. So we're going to put glue on either end. I wonder if we should put the lace on it first. No. Let's put glue on either end. I think I just said that. And we're going to put it over here. Make sure it's straight. Now all we have to do is cut a piece of lace long enough to go down here. And we'll run a bead of glue and it won't matter if we can see the glue. The reason I'm doing this instead of just making a lace belly band is because I want to make sure that it is tight, that it holds the card in, whereas a lace one tends to be kind of loosey-goosey. So let's cover the acetate with the lace. We can cover up any sins with the acetate if we've made it a little crooked or whatever. Now I've got this lavender ribbon, and I don't have very much of it at all. This was actually from my wedding, 20 years ago. And I still have a little bit left. And I'm thinking it might look pretty down the middle of this. So I think I'm going to put a piece down here. I'm not going to have very, very much of it left at all after this. We might be able to use some on a couple of pockets. Okay, just putting another bead of glue down the middle. If we were doing shabby chic, we could do a little bit of pearls on top of that, but we're not. We're just doing lace with the lavender. Wish I had more of this lavender ribbon, so it matches this nicely. And then it looks like I'm going to trim just a smidge off either end. Okay, then we're going to, of course, take our card and make it fit. And we're going to do it this way, because I want to keep this top part. So we'll measure it to where we cut the bottom off. Must be Temu messaging me. I do them I do the unboxings for them. I always get great stuff that they send to me, and but I do get some sales things from them because I actually was a customer before I was a reviewer, and I've bought tons of stuff from there. Just a smidge more. Cut a little bit off the width. That'll be fine. I'm just doing this. We're just going to do the one card on camera, and then after that, I'll just do them. And then don't forget to ink your cards. I love the way that one turned out. And then however much you're inking the corners and such, make sure you ink the card the same. Don't, you know, we're not going crazy on here, so don't go crazy on your card. Try to make a match. I am doing a little bit on the corners. So you do want to do a little bit on these corners. A little dark on the top. Okay? So this page is complete. And if we wanted to, let's see, this is page 2. So it opens this way. I got some charms and things out. If we wanted to, we could put a tab on this card and put a charm on it, because you're going to pull it out this way. So, you know, I could put a tab in the center and add a charm. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, so we're not going to do it right now. We are going to be putting some charms and tabs in the book, so we'll go over the first one. I don't know how many videos we're going to have, to tell you the truth. And I don't know how many pages we're going to have. So I'd like to try to get 2 signatures done and make a little book with a hardcover. Because I really love this kit. And there's a lot of pages to it. Or papers to it. And I've already inked this paper. Make sure you've got everything right side up. This one looks a little crooked to me. Almost looks like I cut the paper a little crooked. Okay. Now we're gonna, we're gonna call this 2A when you see the PDF, and it's just gonna say 2A coffee dyed paper. And that's because I'm gonna decorate all the coffee dyed papers off camera. And so this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 3A in the PDF. Okay? So on page 3, we are going to see if I did this right with the papers now that I've changed what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, we're going to use acetate. This is not wide enough. This one is, but it's not big enough for 2 pockets. Okay, let me get my new sheet. Now, normally when you make a stacked pocket, you don't have to put the top one all the way down. But in this particular case, oh, look, sweet peas. Anyway, we are, because you will see it, because it's going to make it darker where the second one is. And if it's only partially, anyway, I think you get the drift. So we're going to make the top pocket fairly high up. Wondering if that's too high. No, I don't think so. And then the width. Let me get this straight on here again. Okay, so let's cut the width first, so we have a better scrap, or half of the piece. Okay, then we're going to need it actually. still wondering if I shouldn't make that a little bit shorter. That makes me feel better, that height. It seems kind of silly to save these little pieces, but sometimes you can make a belly band for a pocket and use the clear acetate for that. Cheers. Diet Coke. Diet Pepsi. A commercial for them. Now we're going to have to glue this as a pocket. It's going to take a serious amount of glue. The other thing I like about this little bit thicker acetate is that you can see it when you've got it laid down. Darn it. And when you smear the glue out, it covers it really well. You know what I mean? You don't see it that much except on the real light parts of the paper. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Okay, now we're going to make one more, which is why I saved this. And we're going to put it about here. And cut the width about here. And the length about there. Right. You don't want to get this turned around. Make sure you're putting the glue on the correct sides to make your pocket. Poop. That's what we say when that happens. You don't want to have any glue on your fingers when you're doing this. So you only really see the glue on this cream colored part, and since the glue is on top of the glue, it looks like you're just seeing the the one thing of glue going around. Now we're going to, I was going to put this pocket down here. Let's see. It's going to cut that flower in half. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it because covering this makes it okay with me, and plus it'll cover that glue. Let's make sure that it's lower than where it says sweet peas. And we still want to make sure to get the butterfly, of course. Guess I could take the paper clip off. Those little squares of paper, I cut them. They're 1 inch by 1 inch pieces of paper. Oh look, see, that's a nice scrap right there. And then we're going to ink that. If I decide to go back and go through and do glossy accents, I won't do that butterfly, obviously, because it's under the acetate. But I would do this one. I would probably use triple thick so it didn't wrinkle up the paper. It does not work the same way as glossy accents. You brush it on with a paintbrush. It comes in a jar like gesso, so you get a whole bunch of it and lasts you forever. Use some, what is that called? Something and stick, peel and stick, or whatever. Paper that you use to put on plates and things like that to seal food in, and put that over the open lid first, you know, around the top of the jar, and then screw the lid on, and then it won't get stuck shut. Because it does, the glaze is like a glue. It will work as a glue, and it will glue your lid shut. Believe me. Couldn't get mine open. I tried everything. I tried the grabby thing to grab the lid and twist it, and I was about ready to go next door and try the teenager next door and see if he could get it open, which makes me feel so silly. You know, old lady going over there can't get the jar open. It's embarrassing. But that's too wide. I'm going to have to trim it down. I don't know how that ended up being too wide. It shouldn't have been. And I have to wait for the This is just a dry wet wipe. Just let it dry out. It's clean when I started out. Just trying to get enough of this glue off that I can trim it just a little bit in my paper trimmer without getting glue, wet glue in my trimmer. Okay. Oh, and then I turned around and put it on the wet glue that's on the acetate. I'm going to have to re-ink that side as well. Only about 1/8 of an inch. think I cut it a little narrow. I think it'll be all right. I use this like I do my car. I let it get down to halfway full and then I fill it back up again. That way I always got half a tank. Case of emergency or money shortage. I only have a 10-gallon tank. Alright. So now all we need are 3 cards for this page, and we still see this whole top of the page when we take the cards out because the top 2 pockets are acetate. Alright, now if we wanted to, we could put a tuck over here and put another card in this way, which would work just fine. Make it the width of this, well, no, because you'd have to cut it off. Anyway, I want to leave the flowers and the butterfly, but you could still put a tuck there. I might be able to put a little diagonal tuck, so then it wouldn't cover these 2, and then just tuck a small piece of ephemera. I haven't started cutting the ephemera out on the Scan and Cut yet. That's why I haven't been putting any on. Let's do the lace on here. And in fact, let's use the lace that we can see better. You can use different laces, it'll be alright. Won't hurt anybody. Okay. I just hate waiting for that second bubble. It shows the air is out of the tube here. Oh, we're just going to lay it right across to where the top of the lace is even with the top of the pocket. I'm going to have to do a smidge of a trim. This lace kind of stretches. Okay. So all we need are 2 cards for this. 3 cards for this. I'm going to be making a lot of cards. Did you hear the excitement in my voice when I said that? Okay, so we'll put this in page 3. We've done 2 pages in 30 minutes. That's pretty good. So we will at least get started on page 4. I may find a good stopping point and just, stop there versus at some weird spot. I know this is off camera, but I'm just putting glue around the edge of the paper, so. This is page 3. I have the papers picked out for a cover. If we're able to make a little book, that would be nice. Little 1.5 inch spine. Okay, so there's that. Now, going on to page 4, I do have some milled lavender set out, but you can see how light it is, and you have to ink twice with it to see it. So I just thought maybe on some light colored ephemera we would use it. Something like that. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, so this is everything we need for page 4. Oh, anyway, what I was going to say is these are just 1 inch by 1 inch squares that I cut out of a piece of typewriting paper. So that gives you like 88 pieces or some such craziness. So I don't worry about throwing them away. This is our paper. Very pretty. And I've inked it. I'm going to actually put this back on here for right now. So we're not going to need it right away. Then we're going to make this envelope. Oh, actually, I will need the paper for a minute. And we're going to put it on the side. You'll notice it's bigger than the paper. So we're going to have to cut it down. And I don't want it to be all the way to the top because I want it to have a top pocket. So what I want to do is I want to cut it down. That's why I didn't ink the top. I want to cut it down farther than that. And I think I'm going to cut it down to about here. Yeah, which is taller than a small envelope, but smaller than the full size of that envelope. Okay, now I'm going to ink it on the top. They're brushed corduroy. Think about a pair of corduroy pants from back in the 70s. And you'll have the color. Okay. Now, I need to write which end is the top again. Cut the other one off. Now we need to paper the front, since we're going to put a window in it. Man, I burnt the inside of my lower lip with coffee this morning. Wow. It's all shredding now. You know how it does. I'm going to make it this wide. I'm going to make it this tall. And that'll save our bird and then give us enough room for a window at the top. It worked out well. I'm going to show cutting the window on this envelope, and then any other envelopes that we do in this project, then I will just do it myself off camera, and then we'll come right back in. Look at that big blob of ink. Does not make me happy. And when Mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Watch out, Oz. I can't believe it's only 7:30 in the morning. It seems so much later in the day. That's what I get for getting up so early, like 1 o'clock. Which is actually an improvement. I've been getting up at 11. I've only been getting about 3 hours of sleep. Keep dozing off early because I'm so tired. I try to not take a nap or anything so that I'm really tired, but then I fall asleep at like 8 o'clock. There's just no two ways around it. I sit up and fall asleep sitting up, which is dangerous. 3 times I've been sitting with my legs crossed, like you do, on the edge of my bed, which is my couch. It's like I call it a bed couch. It's a twin with some pillows on the back that make it like a day bed. And I fell forwards when I fell asleep. My chin, went down to my chest, and apparently that just was enough weight that it toppled me over, with my big fat head. Wow, that is crooked, crooked, crooked. All right, let's move this up even on the top. And I'll trim it off. Then I should be able to ink it. And then slide it back down. See if I can slide it down just a little bit. That'll give us a little teeny bit at the top. All right, now I want to take good grief. I want to use a different paper clip. Sorry about that. I have a magnet stuck on my lamp, and I just kind of throw these silver paper clips on there. We want to take this apart, which won't take much since we already cut the top off. Okay. Then we want to put this where we want to cut it. Do I want one size bigger? I think we could get away with that. Okay. And lay it on the inside. Get all this stuff out of the way. And piece of washi right there to hold it. Get out the Big Shot. Put it between the plates. It's okay if that the cut mark is going to show through on the back. It's not going to cut through, but it's going to show because we're going to be covering it with paper. And this envelope is thin, so I only have to run it through once. I don't want to run it through twice because it pushes the washi down too. And I've actually had the washi stick too much and tear the paper when I went to take it off. I know my voice sounds far away. I had to turn around and set the Big Shot down. Okay. Now we've also got this paper as well to make a nice tag with. It's going to be white on the back, but because this particular envelope is not cream colored on the inside and the outside. So now we have to ink the window. I like these little bitty paper clips because you can put them over here in the corner to hold them shut and they don't get caught on the circle. Okay, so this is our window. And if you're not inking, you know, your other stuff, then obviously you don't need to ink the window. I like this because it looks kind of torn or burnt, or this little scruffy edged die. This is a die cut. The metal thing is a die. Plural, die. Not dice. Where dice is one and plural is die. And we're going to take a piece of acetate. Let's see. I think this piece will work. I have to cut it down. Now remember, this is going to be a pocket. So I would say go ahead and make the acetate wide. You're not going to have to glue it on the bottom, believe it or not. We're going to have to glue it on the top and the sides. What did I do? Oh, I didn't cut it this way. say I should have another little bitty piece of acetate. I have all kind of paper fuzz, or dust, whatever you want to call it, on my paper trimmer. I have to wipe it down. Okay, cut it a little crooked. It's crooked across the bottom as well, but that's okay. It's easier for me to just go ahead and glue around all four sides. Okay. It's all glued down well. Then we're going to have to close this up in order to paper the inside, and we'll slide the paper in from the top. Okay, so let's glue this together. We're only going to glue the bottom and the side. Don't want to glue the top shut. And that glues it all together. And then now the top is open. This is going to be the paper we put inside. Why don't we start there? Oh, I just glued the flap down. There we go. It was a quick save, wasn't it? How am I going to attach it to the paper? It's going to be easier to cover the inside. We only have to cover this much. We can glue it in by sliding it in there because this is open. So we should be able to put the paper down. You have to put it on this back side though. That's okay, that the paper will stick out here when we paper the back. Then it'll hold all that down. Alright, so we'll start with that in the next video. And then we'll finish our paper as well. Okay? Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. And I'll see you in the next video. That will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.